Hi, this is Jerry, and I have a question for you. When people remember your life years and years from now, what inheritance besides money will you have left behind? Welcome to Proverbs 13:22. Most people think of an inheritance as money, property, or possessions. While those things certainly have value, King Solomon points us to something even greater, a life that blesses future generations. A good person plans beyond today. He understands that his decisions that he or she makes now, will affect not only his children, but also his grandchildren. He leaves behind faith instead of fear, wisdom instead of confusion, integrity instead of compromise, and love instead of division. A godly legacy cannot be measured only in dollars. It's found in the value we teach, the prayers we pray, the examples we live, and the love we show our families every single day. The second half of this proverb reminds us that earthly wealth never is the final measure of success. Those who gain riches through selfishness or wickedness may appear prosperous for a season, but God reminds that sovereignty over all things. In his perfect timing, he's able to redirect blessings according to his righteous purpose. God sees far beyond what we can see. Our greatest investment is not simply what we leave to our family, but what we leave in our family. Words from the ancient wise men, the word for good is tov, meaning beneficial, pleasing, or morally excellent. It describes a life that reflects God's character. There's another word that means for inheritance, which means possession or a heritage passed from one generation to another. Now, in the Old Testament, it often referred to as not only to land, but also God's covenant blessing. In the Bible, it says he would bless from children's children. And that emphasizes there's an importance of thinking beyond one generation. King Solomon's teaching us to build lives whose influence continues long after we're gone. There's another word talking about wealth, which can refer to riches, resources, strength, or prosperity. But how does this apply to us today? Every one of us is leaving a legacy. Parents leave values. Grandparents leave memories. Teachers leave knowledge. Friends leave influence. Believers leave an example of faith. So ask yourself this: will my family remember my kindness? Will they remember my prayers? Will they remember my honesty? Will they remember that I love God with all my heart? You see, money can disappear in a single generation, but faith, wisdom, love, and integrity, they continue blessing families for decades after decades. The greatest inheritance you can leave is a life that points others to Jesus Christ himself. One thing to remember today: your greatest legacy is not what you own. It's the godly life that you leave behind for others to follow. Now, let me just give you something to smile about here. Children may not always remember what you bought them, but they'll always remember who you were. That's the kind of inheritance that never loses its value. Let me leave you with this closing thought. Live today with tomorrow in mind. Build a life of faith, honesty, generosity, and love. Long after your possessions are forgotten, your character can continue speaking to future generations. Leave behind more than an estate. Leave behind a legacy. Now, this verse will be on the screen. Read it out loud if you can. Have a great day.